The mayor of Canada's capital has declared a state of emergency as protesters opposed to COVID-19 restrictions continue to paralyze downtown Ottawa. Thousands of protesters descended in Ottawa again at the weekend, joining 100 who remained since last weekend. Residents of Ottawa are furious at the nonstop blaring of horns, traffic disruption, and harassment. They fear no end in sight after the police chief called it a siege that he could not manage. The Freedom Truck Convoy has attracted support from many U.S. Republicans, including former President Donald Trump. Mayor Jim Watson said the declaration highlights the need for support from other jurisdictions and levels of government. It gives the city some additional powers around procurement and how it delivers services, which could help purchase equipment required by frontline workers and first responders.
Arise U.S. correspondent Rotimi Kade joins us now for more. Rotimi, we're seeing an increased diplomatic push in both Moscow and Washington. In Russia, French President Emmanuel Macron is meeting Putin. Tell us about Mr. Macron's visit.
Well, yes, talking about Mr. Macron will be sitting face-to-face with President Vladimir Putin for the first time this year, with one thing on the agenda, how to de-escalate tensions with its neighbors, Ukraine. And this diplomatic push by Macron is just a way to cement France's relevance in the scheme of things, though not without U.S. So some analysts actually believe that this visit may be another talk shop to window dress Russia's demands or rob Putin's ego once again. We know that Putin is likely or unlikely, I should say, to back down from his demands, which are that former Soviet Union countries should not be part of NATO, and that the 2015 peace deal between the Ukrainian government and rebels in eastern Ukraine should be followed through. Which, of course, we know that if that is followed through, there will be unrest within Ukraine, which the President Vladimir Zelensky is trying to prevent. So the question is, would Putin cave into, Macron's plea? That is looking very unlikely.
And in the U.S., German Chancellor Olaf Scholz will meet with President Biden later. Bring us up to speed here.
Yes, the two leaders will be meeting for the first time since the German Chancellor assumed office 2 months ago. And one thing that will be discussed, obviously, is the matter between Ukraine and Russia. The German Chancellor is also very concerned that the brewing tension has not died down ever since Russia made those demands to U.S. and NATO. And many meetings between the Russian president and the U.S. president has gone without, its, ups and downs, which is that they couldn't resolve the issue. So one thing that Olaf Scholz would definitely like to discuss with the president is how to see a possibility to find an equilibrium, a kind of a common ground on the issues so that it won't escalate beyond what it is today. But also, the German Chancellor is going to be asking answering some very critical questions, which have been on the minds of many analysts and journalists alike on, Germany's reluctance to actually support the ongoing efforts to boost military presence between the borders of Ukraine in a way to wait up Russia's aggression.
And actually stepping away from the Ukraine crisis, we're seeing increasing anger in the Canadian capital of Ottawa over their new week-long truckers' protests. Can you tell us exactly what's going on there?
Well, the protest has been going on for a long time, I think for almost 2 weeks now, and there seems to be no end in sight as the crowd continue to grow in their numbers. All of us, Mayor Jim Watson actually described it as a siege, and he said, well, the situation is actually going out of hand. He cannot handle it. Most likely, troops may be deployed into the capital city to see how to cordon up some, business areas that is very, very important for the capital. However, I think there have been a lot of concerns among the Canadians that many of this support, many of the support that the truckers are getting are coming from the U.S., led by former President Donald Trump and some Republicans who are continuing to crowdfund their activities. And I think with this, this protest is most likely not going to be going down anytime soon. But the crowdfunding site, which is a GoFundMe, has tried to see how to cut some of those fundings to the truckers and the organizers of the protest.
All right, then, Rotimi Kade, many thanks for bringing us up to date on this number of stories. Thank you.